Good morning, Lethbridge. Welcome to Just FM, Just Live TV. And we're also live on the radio here in Lethbridge, Alberta, here on this Saturday, December 8th, I believe it is, at 10 in the morning, just after 10 in the morning. Thanks for tuning in today. This is Feel the Beat with DJ B. You're watching and listening live. Thank you for tuning in. We have a special in-studio guest, a local teacher and musician. So yeah, he teaches physical education and plays the guitar, plays in a local band, Cody Hall. Cody, thanks for joining us this morning. Appreciate that very much.
You betcha, man. I'm happy to be here.
Right on. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you from the area? Did you move here from somewhere else? Or?
Yeah, I grew up fairly close in Stavely, Alberta, which is about an hour away, and got a taste of Lethbridge through hockey. I had to travel here for hockey in my midget years, so I was a 15, 16-year-old, 17. I was driving 3 times a week coming from Calgary to here, and I guess I got sucked into the university system and decided on a career and haven't looked back. I've been here for 12 years now, I guess, teaching for 9, and started playing guitar kind of when I came to university and turned it into more than a hobby, I guess, a couple years ago when I did my first album.
Yeah, nice.
It's become a passion now. So.
That's awesome. Great. Yeah. So when you started, did you just do cover tunes, or did you write your own stuff?
Oh man, when I first started, my first guitar was one that I pulled out of the closet at my parents' farm. It had no strings on it, and I was just happy to like pluck individual strings, and it was a process. Like everybody who starts playing guitar, it's kind of like start, stop. Finally, I got to a point where I could actually play a chord or two, and then it was covers right off the bat. And then I guess with the start of the first CD, about 3 years ago, I just realized that I could write lyrics for my own songs, and it's kind of taken off since there. I've got books full, probably 60, 75, upwards of that songs, and 30 or so that I'm proud of, 60 that I know that are going to get tossed and maybe worked on some more. But it's a fun process, and it's interesting. I keep reading the more you write, the better you get. So this challenge for me now is just write, and if they're good, keep them. If they're not, just keep working on it.
Yeah, and that's the hard part, is writing a song and thinking whether it's good or not, right? You kind of, that's kind of cheesy, but when you look at some of the songs that have been written, you go, it's probably gonna be okay, because there's some songs that you would never think were hits, hits, are kind of nonsensical songs in some ways, right?
So the trick is finding that hook, right? Finding the one word or the phrase that is going to kind of earworm people and have them say, wow.
Yeah, and it's all about the hook, that catchphrase, isn't it? So what motivates you? Where do your songs come from?
Boy, that's a good question. I think they just, most of them come from like a catchphrase or something that I'll be sitting in the garage playing guitar, and you just hear like a cliche or something, right? Or you say something to yourself, and then you just go from there. I've always kind of been an artistic person in the sense of like poetry or writing stories, and I'm not a very outspoken person on the street. If you run into me, I might be a man of few words, but there's always something going in my head, and I like to write out what I'm doing. So lots of really real stories. I guess I kind of model myself in the country genre, so I'm always looking for like the guy who lost the girl, the heartbreak stories, and those are very easy for me to write in a sense. I shouldn't say easy, but they're the ones that come kind of natural, just because that's what I grew up with. But I do a couple kind of real life stories too. I got a song that I'm recording now called Little Man that's based 100% on my kids, and it's a pretty special song to me. So I think it just comes down to finding a story that you want to tell and that you're comfortable telling, and I think that's the biggest challenge right now. Is like there are songs out there that singer-songwriters, they're very vulnerable, right? And you're putting yourself out there and hoping that people like it,
and that's what it is. It's all about telling what you are inside, and like being a creative person. Like I'm the same way, very creative, right? And so playing the guitar a little bit, you kind of trying to write a little bit from experience, and I haven't written a complete song per se. Because the bad thing with me is I'll look at it and go, that's kind of garbage, so I start over instead of just laying it out there, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do, which is great to be a songwriter. So it's good that you can do. So you recorded some songs on a CD, right?
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, the CD is called Cody Hall. The title of the CD, and some of the tracks on the back are, number 1 is Back.
Yeah.
6 String, Save Me, and is that King?
Kind.
Kind. Okay, sorry. Kind.
Oh, that's so good.
So we're going to have Cody perform here live in the studio right now. As you can see, he's got his guitar in his hand.
Yeah.
So what song are you going to perform first for us?
Man, this is a funny album. I started it out, and Kind at the time when I wrote it, I thought that was the song. I was convinced. And since then, all 3 of them, other than Kind, have kind of like taken precedent, and I don't like playing that one that much anymore.
Okay.
I think Back is the one that I want to play. It's interesting because I got my little Spotify results package yesterday.
Oh, nice.
And Back is the most popular one. It's the one that's streamed the most and has the most interactions. So I'll do that one.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Here's Cody Hall and his song Back.
Okay.
What's it gonna take to turn that car around? A couple hours, you'll be leaving this town for good. You tell me from we catch up just like old times, like our first day. We should. Let's go back. Yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to a time with hands. Back to where we live from without plans. Back to a place where it's just you and me, living out our craziest dreams. Let's go back. Let's go back. Yeah, I guess I'm in the fantasies take control. I push so far, you want how you hold on to me. I'll survive the same fight 1,000 times. Gonna take it so long, my state of mind, my way. Let's go back. Well, let's go back to a time with our hands. Back to where we live from now. Plans. Back to a place. It's just you and me living out our crazy dreams. Let's go back. Let's go back. Skinny dipping in the water and home, we were cruising around. Your daddy's phone, we were getting shit, 'cause there was nothing to do. Hearts on fire, but we had nothing to lose. Let's go hanging out in the creek, stop and Maine. Yeah, on the phone, we were dancing in the rain. You were calling me on Saturday nights. I tried Don't feel right, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back to a time we back to when we lived for without any blame. To a place that's just you and me, living out our craziest dreams. Let's go back, let's go back.
Awesome. Thanks, Cody. That was awesome. That was a great song. I was back.
Yeah.
The title of the song off of Cody's self-titled CD, and we'll hear a few more tracks of that one in a bit. You're listening live to Jess FM here in Lethbridge, Alberta. Thank you for tuning in this morning. You can listen to us live on our website, jessfm.ca, or download the app. Whether you have an iPhone or an Android, go on to the app store that you use and download it on your smartphone. You can listen live anywhere you are. Plus, check us out on Facebook. Jess FM on Facebook.com/Jess FM. I'm DJ B from DJ B Entertainment here in Lethbridge, and you are watching Feel the Beat live in studio with Cody Hall, a local artist and local teacher.
Yeah.
So that was a great song. So obviously that came from experience and something like in your life.
Yeah.
Can you? When you're composing, what comes first, the lyrics or the tune?
A little bit of both, man. For example, there are days when my songwriting process, this is vulnerable with me. I'm going to show you.
Okay, cool.
So I might start with like an E and an A and figure out that a B fits in there, and I might start singing something like. Okay, that's good. So I'll hit voice memos and record kind of 8 bars or something, and then what lyrics will fit in there. Or for Back, for instance, it's funny because that song is still very fresh for me. It started out with, what's it going to take to turn that car around? I was like, there's a song there somehow. I just have to finish figuring out how to put those words together. And I think that first line, what's it going to take to turn a car around, just leads into something happened that these guys need to find their way back, right? And just something simple in Back itself, I think, is enough of a hook and whatnot. It kind of just wrote itself from that point. So I guess to answer your question, sometimes it's the lyrics that come, and I'm sitting there driving my car, and I have to quickly put a note into my phone of this is catchy, or I'll be playing in the garage and the right 4 chords just kind of invoke the lyrics. So there's never a fail safe. It's always just kind of play and just catch lightning in a bottle. Perfect if you don't.
Right. And it's all about the feel too.
Yeah.
Like some of the greatest musicians in the world can't write or read a stitch of music. Like Slash, for example.
Yeah.
I was listening to a interview of him. He says, I don't know how to read music.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just that feel, and those guys have that feel, and that's what music is about. Developing that feel and getting that across. You can feel that song, right?
Yeah,
and that's the big thing about it. And that's what I think is going to connect with people, is that feel. They feel it, they connect with it, like any song, right?
Yeah.
So how do your kids feel about, hey, Dad's got a CD and your wife and that? That must be pretty special for them.
It is. It's really cool. I don't have a great jam space. It's my garage, and it's cold, and there's stuff everywhere. But like every time I go out and my little boys especially, they play along. I've got a little cajon that I built with a kick pedal on it, and my little guy will stand there and stomp his foot, and it's close to being on time, but not quite there.
Yeah.
And I tinker a lot, so I've got like a little, I would call it a cigar box guitar that I built from some old plywood, and my other little boy will play that, and they bang on stuff. But yeah, it's interesting, and it's really humbling in a sense. Like we'll turn on a car, and my CD will be in. My wife has it in her car, And my little boys would be like, "This is you."
That's pretty
The
cool.
fact that they can point it out, though, is really neat. And like, my wife runs a day home, so the car is filled with all sorts of other kids, and they're really, really proud of that. This is my dad.
That's cool.
This is him on the radio.
Right.
How did you get on the radio? And I'm like, it's not that hard. You just need a CD.
That's cool. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So who is your inspiration of all the artists and stuff in the past, country, whatever genre?
Yeah.
Who inspires you?
That's another good question. There's so many people that I just respect as writers and musicians. I think Brent Smith from Shinedown is somebody that I always looked up to. He's just a very good storyteller. I remember seeing him with Shinedown in Calgary at McEwen Hall, and it was just kind of an intimate crowd. There's a bunch of people. There are probably 500 people, but it's all jam-packed right in front of the stage, no seats. You're just standing there, and he just kind of stood and told us these stories, but then would play a song right afterwards. And the emotion that he brought to it was crazy, and the power in his voice is something that I want to emulate. I really enjoy a guy that can sing and sound good, but you can hear the pain, and I think Chris Stapleton is another one.
Chris Stapleton's amazing. Yeah.
He's got these great stories, and had anybody else singing them, they'd still be good songs, but the way he sings it, and you feel like the heartache or the joy or the whatever. That's the kind of guy that I would like to be like.
It's all about telling that story. He's kind of like Chris Christopherson in that way. Like, one of the most profound Chris Christopherson songs is "Why Me Lord," right? Yeah. You hear that, oh my God, right? Other people have done it, but it's just how he sings it, right? Yeah. And I think Chris Stapleton's that way, like you say, right?
Very much.
Have you ever gotten to meet anybody? Any of your inspirations?
In a very short passing, a couple years ago, I got to meet Zach Brown and his band at the bottom of the Saddle Dome, but albeit it was like a 30-second, okay, here we are for our photo shoot, and your souvenir picture, but it was pretty cool. But I've worked with some up-and-coming people. There's a guy from down east, his name is Peter Katz, and he's a singer-songwriter and fairly well-known kind of in the folk and singer-songwriter genre. He's Juno selected and stuff like that. But I was lucky enough to work at a summer camp with him last year and really pick his brain on the industry and what to do differently and things to do. So, yeah, I think that's the neat thing about music too. There's some underlying competition. You always want to be like, what am I doing that the other people are doing? Yeah. But for the most part, everybody's in it to be like, what do you do? Let me help you. And what can we do to collaborate, or how do we make music that people want to continue to hear? And I think that's a special thing about the community, is that everybody's on the same page of, we want to make music because it's fun, it tells our story, and the world needs it. So
two of the inspirational ones for me, I'm sort of a classic rock, classic country, but I got to jam a little bit with Randy Bachman, which was wicked, right? He was at a buddy of mine knows him, right? And then Lita Ford, I was in a music store in Calgary one time, and she walks in there, and I'm just trying out a guitar, and I kind of knew who it was. I couldn't place her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she sits down and shreds the guitar. I go, oh, great, right? Yeah. I'm just plunking away. But she ends up saying, Lita Ford, we're playing, this was quite a few years ago, right? Cool. That was pretty cool, right? Yeah. Because she is a wicked guitar player for, rock and roll, hard, like heavy metal, and so she's really good.
Yeah. It's definitely fun meeting new people.
Yeah, it is, for sure. So you teach physical education.
Yep.
And that as well at school. How long have you been doing that?
9 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, getting real close to the 10-year mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been good. It's grade 6 to 8, so kind of 11 to 13-year-old kids who I don't know, just are really in a spot in their life where they need people to kind of look up to, I guess, and not that I consider myself in that way, but I think that's why I'm so involved in music now too, is I want kids to understand that there's more to it than being one person. Like you don't have to be an athlete. You can be an athlete and an artist and a cook and a mathematician and do everything, and whatever you enjoy, that tends to be the thing that you put the most effort into and becomes what you're good at.
Yeah.
So,
and they will look up to that because, a lot of times schools, really enhance the athletics and other things, maybe not quite as much, but, our gym teacher, wicked, he's a guitar recording artist, that's awesome, right?
Yeah,
so they'll be able to connect with that big time. That's great.
That's the hope anyways.
Yeah,
and
cool.
There's certainly a lot of kids that have shown interest and like, man, I can't believe you do this.
Right on. That's
fun.
cool. Excellent. So we're going to have you do another song, okay? So what song would you like to do?
Oh, man. Why don't I play Save Me?
Okay, and it's not on this CD, right?
Save Me
Or
is,
it?
and then...
Oh, sorry, it is. Number 3, sorry.
Yeah, I'll play Save Me because
Okay.
it's another kind of favorite. And
Okay, sounds good.
I'll save Little Ned for later.
Okay, so here again in studio, Cody Hall with his original track, Save Me, on Jess FM.
This whole world is going a little crazy. Yeah, we're all just chasing dreams. I can never be who you really are, but I'm dying, trying to be. Won't you be the one to mount me for the rest of your life? Wait to stand by my side. You are making me. And one day you'll finally see you could be the one to save me. Keeping these traps away is not going to work. I got no time left to lose. Been holding back too long to tell you. You can be the one to mount me for the rest of your life. Standing by my side, you heal all me. I'm hoping one day you'll finally see you can be the one to save me. Take my word and spray. From down, you're going to take forever, but I'm on the you around. So won't you be the one to mount 3 for the rest of your life? You know I'm a better man with you standing by my side. You heal in me. You could be to mount 3 for the rest of your life. You could be to mount 3 for the rest of your life. You could be to mount 3 for the rest of your life. Come save me. You could be the one to save me.
Awesome. Thank you, Cody.
Yeah.
That was Save Me off of his self-titled CD, the 3rd track on there. And so the CD is available where? How can our audience get
This CD, you kind of got to see me live to have it. I sell it just by myself. I know that there's places that I could drop it off, and I've just been a terrible marketer for that.
Okay.
But normally I just have a case full of them, and anytime I play, I kind of let people know and pedal them off. But it's also on Apple Music and Spotify, individual songs and stuff like that.
And the CD is how much if I wanted to buy it?
$10 if you're in a concert and you see me and you want a CD, and it comes with a little download card as well. So there's the digital distribution sites of iTunes and Apple Music and Spotify, but then there's also CD Baby's website where you can get the songs right off of it. So that comes inside with it, so you don't have to actually pay for the download.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And this one here is not available. This is my copy, and you'll have to fight me for it. So it was given to me by Cody. Thank you, by the way.
Oh.
So that song, it's interesting. Like, a lot of people think, oh, some of the songs that are out there today, they're complicated, but they're not. It's just you were doing hammer-ons and pull-offs.
Yeah, you bet.
And most songs are just 3/4 chords, 3/4 major chords.
Oh,
some of the most famous songs are 3 chords. Some even 2 chords.
Yeah.
But it's all in the story. Because really, the guitar is there for accompaniment. It's not to detract from the story that's being told. But a lot of people go, wow, that sounds so cool. But it's 3 chords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny that that comes up. I mean, and I'm probably going to get my hands slapped by other musicians, but the bubblegum pop chords, the E, C, G, and D.
Mm-hmm.
And if you play those 4 songs, I'm sure people have YouTubed it before, but Ed Sheeran's the guy that kind of made fun of it. He's like, give me a top 40 song, and I'll play it in E, C, G, and D. And it really comes down to that each singer has their own tone of voice and then the way they play guitar, and you move a capo around or you change the key of a song, and you can cover anything or change any song, or even make it sound the exact same way it's supposed to with the same 4 chords, and all that really needs to happen is that you're keeping the structure of the song. And then the cool thing about building this band and getting CDs is I have a better understanding of how to layer things now and make a song sound full, right? But at the root of it, when it comes down to writing them, it doesn't have to be much more than
That's true.
4 chords and the truth, as they say. Right?
True. And strumming pattern too, right? That plays a big part. It's like, there's one song that Wham did, Faith, or George Michael, right?
Yeah.
And people go, that's such a complicated song. It's basically E and B.
Yeah.
Over and over, right? And it's just a strumming pattern, and it's really cool, but it really made a really cool song. And I think that a lot of people, kind of disconnect with that, but it's just simple, right?
Yeah.
And that's why the acoustic is so cool too.
Yeah, very much.
It's just, simple, laid out there. You bare your soul, bang, right?
Yeah.
And that's awesome. So what is your biggest regret in life?
Boy. That I didn't eat healthier.
Yeah?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there are a ton of things that if I could change now, that I would. I think on like teacher profession level, if there were, maybe not regret in life, but biggest piece of advice that I give kids, is that to actually, like, I know we're young and teenage kids, they don't want to think about that, but like, take care of your body, right? And exercise and get outside and get off our phones and do things that make us feel good, but also challenge us. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I grew up on a farm, so I was outside all the time. And I played hockey.
Yeah, me too, exactly.
But I got really into hockey, so that kind of took over from about 13 to 20. That was what I was. I was a hockey player. I didn't really do anything else other than work on the farm and learn how to skate and play goalie, right?
Right on.
And I love that. I made a ton of good connections, but I lost a lot of close to home connections because I was traveling to Lethbridge, so I didn't have the biggest circle of friends when I was little. But that would be my advice: is like for kids, experience things, try everything. If you're good at something, absolutely put every effort into continuing on that path. But certainly get into a routine of understanding how important nutrition and sleep and exercise and socialization are. I think that was one thing I've learned how to deal with it now. But I'm a pretty normally introverted person. Once I get a guitar in my hand, I become a loose faucet. I just spray words, but you see me on the street, I don't say too much. So that would be a skill that I would like to go back and pick up on, is how to be a more approachable or a better people person. And like, I think a lot of it comes from just nervousness of myself, and we hear that again. It's at school. Anxiety is a big catchword right now, and I think the thing is that everybody has to understand that we all have anxiety.
Yeah.
Right? It's a normal human function.
Yeah.
The problem is when we don't know how to deal with it, and that's why this is big for me. Is
True.
I have a bad day at school, I come home and write a song about it.
Yeah.
And then it's off my chest, and I feel great.
Yeah, it's taking out your frustrations on something other than, something bad, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of kids that have gone through some trauma, right?
Yeah.
And adults too, right?
Yeah.
And to be able to have that release is amazing, because I mean, especially when you look at a lot of artists out there, whether it's comedians or whatever, they have some pretty dark moments in their life and been through a lot, and that really helps people connect with them on songs and stuff too.
Yeah, it's interesting. I read something, I don't know where it was that I read it, but somebody was talking about that. Like, singer-songwriters, we write songs not so much to make people feel sorry or anything like that, but like to bring that same feeling. And like, I want this song to break somebody else's heart. I want you to actually feel what it's supposed to mean, and that's going to connect you with it and make you want to listen to it again. Not so much, oh, that was a sad song about that guy, what was him, move on. So yeah, the trick, I think, is like coming up with an idea and then writing it in a way that the listener thinks, man, I can live this story.
That's me.
This is me. Yeah, and that's the challenge, but it's also a lot of fun, and you kind of just steal ideas from people. And like I said, sometimes it's, you're walking down the street and somebody says something, you're like, that's good, write that down.
Yeah.
So
What I always connect with too is when the artist is singing a song and they get choked up or it breaks them up, right? Because it really hits them big time. It's, because it brings back memories that I've lived through. I often think of Vince Gill, who wrote a song called Go Rest High on That Mountain, right? Because his brother died.
Yeah.
And when he sings it, and I saw him years ago in concert and stuff, right? And when he does it with his acoustic guitar and just singing, laying it out there, like, oh my God, and the emotion, and then he starts getting choked up, it really connects. And that's one great thing about singing songwriting you can do. When you feel that you've done that to somebody, and you know you resonated, and that's awesome.
I think that's the wonderful thing about just humanity in general, right? Whether it's art that you're expressing yourself or athletics or whatever, when we put ourselves in that uncomfortable, vulnerable state of, I'm willing to show you what I'm going through right now, there are very few people in the world who are not interested. There are very few people that are bad people that don't care, but you show that vulnerability and all of a sudden you open your world up to acceptance and compassion and empathy, and it's just, in my opinion, that's how the world should work.
I agree. I totally agree.
That communicate and share stories, whether they're good, bad, because that's what we need is support, and I think you kind of touched on it, that we're losing some of that communication now.
Yeah, and it's kind of what makes singer-songwriters and people that are creative in that, I think, connect too, because a lot of people are afraid to show their vulnerability or their emotional side or whatever, right? And not letting people see inside. But with singer-songwriting, a lot of times that's all you can see, right? And that's the most important thing, is seeing what's inside, lay it out there, right? It's awesome, But
it's interesting too, again, being like, we will pull any punches, I look fairly intimidating. I'm a large man with a beard, so there's not a lot of softness at first appearance, but I do that. Like my social media channels, I post videos all the time, but I very rarely post a perfect video. I show pictures of me shivering in my garage, breathing the white smoke, just to show people, like, I don't need you to see the rehearsed, practiced, perfected version. I want you to see, like, what this actually looks like when I'm putting it together.
And that's cool.
Whether people get the joke or not, I mean, it's kind of fun to poke at myself once in a while. Like, I mentioned Spotify. It came out this week. Spotify Canada emails everybody that's on their rotations, like, here are your numbers for the year. So you've got guys like Dan Mangan, and it's like you had 3.8 million streams or 6.9, whatever his number is. And all these artists, there's an M behind every one of their categories, right? And I got mine emailed to me, and it's K's instead of M's, so only 3,000. But I'm like, this is amazing. Like 12 countries, people have heard my stuff. Maybe they've only heard it once, but the fact that it's being shared around, and like it's neat to see that too. I've had a YouTube channel for a long time, and there's people from Australia that will message me, and they're like, man, this is really cool.
That's cool, yeah.
So yeah, the breadth of what it does for you, and I think if I could ever convince myself to actually like market myself and not be such a chicken about that type of stuff, that I might see some more success. But I'm also happy to just like play for the fun of playing too. I got a great job as a phys ed teacher, so I can't complain.
And that's ultimately what it is. You play for the fun of it, and the other stuff comes along with it. You have to have that passion. You clearly have the passion for that music because you're writing and stuff, and that's awesome, right?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people, when they lose interest in playing any instrument or a guitar or whatever, it's because it's technical. Bang, 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 bang. Like just having to.
Becomes a job.
Yeah, becomes a job as opposed to what you love to do, and that's the difference there too. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and there's nothing like seeing some of these, like you mentioned about seeing how something's constructed, watching them on an acoustic session or whatever, some groups or whatever, bands or artists, and they're just passing around the acoustic guitar, just strumming their tunes. Those are really cool. It just shows the vulnerability.
That's like my dream. I'd like to be a fly on the wall one time of just like any band, just a road trip on the bus when they're sitting there like, okay, let's jam. Who wants to play what? Like that's cool. That's really neat cool. that there are people that talented too. And like we've touched on that. I'm in the same boat. I can't read a lick of music. Guitar's the only thing I can play, my drum beat ends at 4 because then I get confused. So yeah, it would be fun to have the time and the combined knowledge to be able to sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna try some bass today, or who knows, right?
So basically, music and teaching is a profession for you because you made money in music. What do you do aside from that? Because you can't do those things 24/7. Like even music, you can't, right? You got to have something else. So do you have any other hobbies or anything?
Yeah, you bet. I'm a parent. I have 3 kids at home under 6 years old. So I mean, as much as I can, I'm hanging out with them. 2 little boys that are 2 and 5 that wrestle as much as they can with me, so I stay in shape by wrestling my kids.
There you go.
But I do a lot of building. I love being outside. I don't nearly go to the farm as much as I should anymore, being here and kind of having my own family, but I love going back to home to Stavely and heading out to the foothills and just being outside. I do some camping stuff and kind of camp counselor stuff in the summer times with a group called Faces. And it's kind of just a mix of everything. Still play some hockey every once in a while. And, stay busy anyway. So
right on. So we'll have you do another song or two shortly here. You're listening live to Jess FM, live on TV and on radio here in Lethbridge, Alberta. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you check us out on Facebook. Facebook.com/JessFM or on our website, jessfm.ca, and download the app as well for your smartphone. You're listening to Feel the Beat every Saturday morning here at 10 a.m. I'm DJB from DJB Entertainment, and we have a great in-studio guest today, Cody Hall, a local artist, musician, teacher, who has come in here this morning to showcase his talent and bare his insides to you, so that's awesome, right? So we're going to have to do another song here. Which one would you like to do?
I've been talking about kids all the time, so we'll throw in Little Man. Okay. This is, I wrote this probably a year ago now, maybe October of last year, and kind of thought, man, this got some grounds, and then it's cool. Every time I play it, it's different, and the band has a completely different feel.
Nice. Yeah. And this one is not on this CD.
Not currently.
Right?
However, there's it's being recorded at Cottonwood.
Okay.
So it'll be out, I'm hoping, January. We're gonna try and do a video for it. just an acoustic video for it. And we also had a chance last month. One of the guys in my band, Justin, he's got access to Studio One at the U of L, so we went in and did an off-the-floor recording of it. And yeah, there's lots of different versions that I got to kind of get onto some of my platforms, either my website or on Facebook, and kind of just showcase that. But I'm
right on.
Not afraid to share it, but
Sounds
I'm certainly
good.
keeping the finished product.
Right on. So live in studio, Little Man, Cody Hall on Jess FM.
Wears them jeans tucked into his boots. You stay out after the sun goes down. Cries when he knows that he's done. Yeah, he likes to follow me around. Got a couple of scrapes on his knees from the last time he crashed that bike. He's got a grin that says I'm up to no good. We'll never back down from a good fight. And I see my father's song, yeah. I was thinking about as a kid. It's don't grow too fast, little man. He's got the girls wrapped around his fingers. He's got the world in the palm of his hand. Wishful thinking and honest the pain. He'll be a better man than I am. Tell treat folks like you want you. I promise you'll get what you get. Don't be afraid to shed a tear if you need to. Bottled up ain't no way to live. And that's my father's song. I was thinking about as a kid. It's we don't grow up too fast. Oh, don't grow up too fast. Yeah, when I strike so fast. Little man.
Awesome, great song, great song.
Thank you.
And that was again two chords,
Two chords.
two chord songs, G and D.
You betcha.
That's all he was playing, and it was awesome. Good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a fun one for me. I like that.
Yeah, excellent
a
song.
lot.
So, how many brothers and sisters do you have?
Interesting story. I should have prepped you for this. I have two, but my sister passed away last last November 11th. Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
No, it's okay. We've had an interesting year, but it's taught us a lot too, in terms of, like I said before, kind of the message that I've been going, the compassion and the understanding and perspective. Perspective, I think, is my key word. Everything that I look at now, I think, what are the other outcomes, right? And something's bad. There's always something good that you can see, and I think that's actually a cool song too. That was leading into that kind of area of our transition or our life, and there's a lot of comfort there for my family with that song. And
Good.
yeah, it's interesting too, and I guess the positives that came out of it, not that they're positive, but after my sister passed last year, I got on this writing kick again, and there's a few on my new album that are very close to that reason and about that situation and time in my life. So yeah, I'm excited and nervous all at the same time for some of those songs to come out, because those ones are pretty deep and pretty personal, but in the same sense, a lot of it. Actually, one song, I don't know if we have time, but I could play it later. It's called Middle of Nowhere.
We'll get you to play that one. Maybe you can take us home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I don't know if I should do the story on that one now or not, but we had the service in Stavely, and Stavely it's one of those places that you said it's a small town as well, right?
Yes.
Everybody knows everybody, and
That's right,
everybody shows up. So the community all had 2,500 people crammed into it for the service, and I just thought, wow, this is what a community is really supposed to be like.
Right.
When tragedy strikes and you've got everybody giving the shirt off their back, or even just that support. So I wrote this song called Middle of Nowhere that is based solely for the town and the community, and I guess as a thank you for that kind of month of whatever. And I put it out there as, hey, I don't know how to walk up to you and shake your hand and give you a hug and say you made a difference, but I can write a song for you. And I hope people kind of got that message, and I'm excited. It's going to be on the new album too, and yeah, it's fun to play it live, but there's also some components that my guitar player Justin brings to it that just make it
that much better.
A very, very good song. And I don't mean to sound conceited or cocky, but
you don't.
There's certainly some songs that it's fun when you play them and you just know, you're like, I would listen to that myself. If it was on the radio, I'd stay on that.
You have to be proud of what you do, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
It's funny that we bring that up. I talk with my phys ed kids about it all the time, and usually the two hardest things in life to do, number one is give appreciation, give gratitude. It's tricky sometimes to be genuine and say, you did a great job with that. But the harder thing to do, I've read, is to take it and say, yeah, I worked hard on that. I'm proud of it.
That's right.
Lots of times someone will say, great job, and we're kind of like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That was great. And we dismiss it as it came easy to us, or we didn't have to work for it. But
or that we're not worthy of getting the accolades for that. Yeah.
I've been really pushing that with my phys ed kids. It's like, when someone gives you something, tell them, yeah, this is what I did to get here. I made these things happen by setting a goal and working my butt off and making it. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that personal experience with your sister. That's oftentimes hard, especially when it's been so recent that has happened.
Yeah.
But, and it's great that music is able to give you and your family comfort, because
Yeah, very healing.
you know, a lot of times, you know, any song that you hear, because music transcends all boundaries. It, you know, it can bring people together. It, you know, drives them apart sometimes, but it also, you know, brings back memories of family that we lost, and that music is just so amazing that way, and it's great that you're able to get that comfort from it.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So we're gonna have you, that song that you mentioned there.
Yeah.
What was the name of it?
It's called Middle of Nowhere.
Okay, we're gonna have you finish us off with that song.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have enjoyed Cody Hall in our studio this morning on Jess FM. Appreciate him coming in. He performed 3 tracks from his CD, self-titled CD, Cody Hall. Okay, you said you can only get that through him, but we're gonna, if you want the CD and to put us in touch with Cody, you can contact either Jess FM on our Facebook page, leave a message on there, or on my Facebook page, DJB Entertainment. Leave a message, post a message, and I'll put you in contact with Cody, and we can get some of his CDs into your hands. How does that sound? Okay, we'll do that. Get you promoted, because you've got some great stuff here. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah,
Right
shameless
on.
plug. If while you're on Facebook, you might as well head over to @Cody Hall Music and give her a like and a follow as well.
Excellent, for sure. Do that.
Yeah. So all lowercase, one word, and that's basically the same for Instagram, Facebook, and CodyHallMusic.com website for getting in touch for bookings, or
Perfect.
just wanna send an email and say, hey, I like this song, or just like that song, whatever the case may
Right.
be. Yeah, it's fun to connect with people and chat with anybody who's out there that wants to give a follow or a like or just
Excellent.
listen. Yeah,
For
absolutely.
sure. Yeah, make sure you do that. You've been listening live to Jess FM here. Feel the Beat with DJB. Our in-studio guest, Cody Hall, is going to perform a song that is very close to him and his family, written because of the passing of his sister. What's the name of the song again?
It's called Middle of Nowhere.
Middle of
and
Nowhere.
it's an homage to
Small
small town
town.
communities everywhere.
Right on.
A couple lyrics in it that I think are very relatable.
Sounds great.
We've all heard of the four-way, the town with one four-way stop,
Correct.
right? So yeah.
Right on. Take it away, Cody. Middle of Nowhere, here live on Jess FM.
Who are your people? Where you from? Who do you lean to when the world's got you on the run? You tell me your story, 'cause I got time. Don't let me rush you, but I gotta tell you mine. Some people got a grocery store and a full downtown. The arena still the heartbeat of that place. Yeah, the world that's full of shadow alone, it's a place to return. No one alone. Your family spread beyond familiar face. I spread my wings and learn to fly away, only to return again. You're falling in love, you're falling apart. You couldn't wait to leave that place for another fresh start. When all those memories overturn tears, like we sail back on me after all these years. Some people got a grocery store and a full downtown. The arena still no heartbeat of that place. In a world that's full of shadow and love, it's a place to return. No one alone. Your family spread me out familiar face. I spread my wings and learn to fly away, only to return again. If dust level settles in that prairie town till the last man's down. Frost takes a ground. We got each other's back through thick and thin. You're the ones that you need, and you don't have to ask. It'll pick you back up, fill a cup to your glass. Standing right there and wait to wait in the end. In the middle of nowhere's right, stomping ground. Got a grocery store and a four-way downtown. You're in the state of heartbeat, all that place. It's from the shadow, it's a place to turn and know. The family spreading out, familiar face. I spread my wings and learn to fly away, only to return again. We spread our wings and learn to fly away, only to return again.
That was awesome. Thank you. That was
Thank
an
you.
excellent song.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate that very much.
Okay, maybe a couple more songs.
We have enjoyed having you in the studio today. Thank you. It's been a complete privilege.
It's anytime I get to play songs that are not for my reflection in my garage window, I'm happy. So thank you guys.
Right. Well, you know, we always want to try and give people in the community, artists, whatever they are, a chance to showcase themselves and, you know, what they do, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's, you know, connecting everybody with the community is important.
Yeah,
In
absolutely.
our community, it brings everyone together. And Lethbridge is, you know, it's got that small town mentality, so it's
Yeah.
kind of the same type of thing, right?
Yeah,
so
you betcha.
thank you for coming in today. Won't keep you any longer, but
No worries.
appreciate very much. And thank you too for tuning in today to Just FM. We
Yeah,
really
thank you.
appreciate that today. You've been listening to Feel the Beat, listening and watching to Feel the Beat here. Every Saturday morning, tune in again next Saturday to Feel the Beat. Tune in to other programs as well. Go on our website, jessfm.ca, or Facebook page, facebook.com/jessfm. And be sure to download our app from iStore or Play Store, I believe it is, for whatever phone you have. And make sure as well, you look at DJB Entertainment. I have promoting my show, promoting other things as well on there. And if you want a copy of Cody Hall's CD, leave a message for us on Jess FM Facebook page or on DJB Entertainment Facebook page. Leave a message or leave a post on there. We will put you in touch with him to get a CD, okay, on that great music that he's done today.
And in the meantime, download it on Spotify and Apple so you can hear it while you're waiting for your copy.
Yeah, do that as well. Check out Cody Hall Music, codyhallmusic.com.
Yeah, you betcha.
Right? Check out his website and his Facebook page as well, and you'll be able to see his book him, or any performances that you've done on there. I'm sure there's videos and stuff as
You
well.
betcha.
So, again, thank you for tuning in to Feel the Beat with DJB. Always have fun. Reach for your dreams. Be kind to each other. This is DJB out. Have a great day.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very
Pleasure
cool.
having you here.
I really appreciate the chit chat. It's really